Welcome to Business Success Tips, where you learn to make more money in less time. Hopefully, have a lot more fun. My name's Paul Sanneman. I'm founder of Contractor Staffing Service, where we help contractors build great teams. My guest today is Tymchyshyn. I hope I got that right. Fieldclix. Tell me, Rob, what does Fieldclix do?
Yes, Fieldclix, we offer timekeeping automation software for trades and subcontractors or any other company with resources in the field performing work at remote job sites.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, we use GPS tracking and geofences to show them pretty much where every labor cost goes, minute of labor cost goes throughout the workday.
Okay, because I remember in the old days, and this is the old days, people would take their paper time cards at the end of the week and they'd fill them all out and just guess, right? And they'd be off 3 or 4 hours easy, and that's all the profit and the job loss at the time, right?
Yeah, so that creates a couple complications. First of all, running payroll is a bit of a struggle, running through those stacks of papers and getting them approved. So we certainly help with that, but primarily, we have the ability to show where all your productive and non-productive labor hours are going. So, if you have 3 people sitting in a truck for 45 minutes at a Home Depot, we're going to show you that. If it takes them, 45 minutes to hit the road from the office to the warehouse, we're going to show you that. If there's excess drive time, we're going to show you that. Our clients are telling us that by virtue of the fact that they're getting this visibility into, what ultimately is their biggest cost, the labor cost, they're able to increase time at the job site every day by 10 to 15%.
Now, question, does your labor go by cost code too?
We can absolutely direct labor costs to cost code. We automate that. So if the employees are going to multiple sites in a day, we can carve out those labor hours and direct them automatically, direct them to the correct job code. The challenge that many other software platforms have is they still require the field employees to manually indicate they're at the job site, manually select a job code, then manually indicate that they've left the job site. And what happens there is even the best intentioned employees, they're focused on getting the job done. They just don't always get it right. So you can't always trust that you're getting good data. Again, even for the best intentioned employees. And so we can just, again, automate all of that and make sure that you're getting a precision of where your labor costs are going, both from a job code perspective, but also, whether it's a productive or non-productive labor hour.
Now, I have a question. Do you get any sort of kickback by, you're tracking me everywhere I go, blah, 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 and this is like Big Brother and it's not fair, and, how can you do that? Are there any legal issues involved in that?
We're very sensitive to legal issues, especially in California, which has a lot of extra bars that our clients have to get through, specifically around complying with lunch policies. We do a very, very good job of managing that and creating a safety net for our clients to make sure that they are in alignment with state regulations and labor laws. Right. There's always 1 or 2 employees that are not comfortable with that, and we just tell our client to give them a company phone and not use their personal phones. And ultimately what happens is they don't want 2 phones. They will put they'll return the company phone and use the Fieldclix mobile app on their personal phone. Now, what do they get out of it? They get to see every day which hours have been approved or not approved. They get to make requests. I forgot to clock in at 7. I started working at 7. I clocked in at 9. Can you please adjust my time to clock me in at 7? They could see all their approved hours. Something doesn't look right to them. They can immediately message someone in the office to let them know, and they could see how many hours they've accrued for the pay week. They could look on Sunday, Saturday, or the weekend. They don't have to email someone, and they get immediate confirmation of what their paycheck's going to be. So even though there is some minimal resistance, I've had companies tell me how much their field employees are actually enjoying the experience, both in regard to this ease of use. All I have to do is clock in to start the day and clock out to end of the day, put my phone in the pocket, I'm good to go. And then in regard to the control they have over their labor costs and visibility they have into what they're being paid. So it's kind of a win-win at the end of the day. But yes, there's always that small percentage that, maybe aren't comfortable with it, and we'll give them a company phone.
Okay. Now, when they do this, how does it track? Like, what if you have different, like, say, I'm charging different things for different amounts. Let's say for, I don't know, cleanup, I'm charging $30 an hour, and for
Yep.
framing, I'm charging $60 an hour. And so it would have to enter the cost codes for that, right? If I'm cleaning the driveway versus framing the house.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So, the first thing we do is we set up geofences around any place employees are expected to be that day. Office, warehouse, maybe some people are clocking in at their home, maybe some people are clocking in at a hotel. There might be various suppliers that they're going to, regional suppliers. We have all the Home Depots and Lowe's pre-configured, so if they're stopping there, and of course the job sites. So we're picking all of that up with geofences. Even if we don't have a geofence, we can configure this to indicate that, your individual employee or your crew has stopped at a location for, more than 5 minutes. You don't always get the dispatch on the calendar. It's a fast-moving business, but we can see that they spent 45 minutes at this particular location the next day, and then we could just assign it to the correct job code. As far as tracking tasks within a geofence, they have the ability to allocate time to different activities within a geofence in the mobile app as well. So they can track within a particular cost code, they could track all the activities that happened at that job site as well with our mobile app.
Okay. Now, how does this integrate with, there's a bunch of, there's Procore job, there's a bunch of software out there. There's QuickBooks. Everybody has their APIs. Some do, some don't. How does it integrate with their accounting system and their payroll system?
Yeah, that's a very good question. So there are really 3 systems that we need to be concerned with. There are the project management systems, where crews are being scheduled and dispatched and jobs are being set up. So that could be a Procore, that could be a QuickBooks, there could be Fieldclix, because we do that as well. But they may already have an established project management system in place, and they don't need to schedule and dispatch in Fieldclix. So what we do is we pull in all the dispatch work orders with the information we need, the site, the employees, and the job codes at the end of the day. We pull that in from the system. We use that information to calculate good time cards. And then we will point the time card information, the location, job code, and amount of hours. We'll push that back into the project management system after the time cards have been calculated. So that's number one. That's very important. We do integrate with multiple project management systems. Your accounting system, the majority of our clients are using QuickBooks. As you're probably aware, Paul, we have a very full-featured integration with QuickBooks. So we sync everything: vendors, clients, employees, bills, invoices, whatever you need to push back and forth between Fieldclix, including time cards as well, if you're running your payroll in QuickBooks. If you're running payroll in the third system is payroll platforms, Paychex, ADP, Paycom, Paylocity. We will, every payroll cycle we will run. Again, this is where we kind of simplify the back end of the process, because as you know, Paul, payroll is often a very chaotic process where we make sure we have all our time cards reviewed, approved in the system, and ready to push the button. So we do a couple of things there. Number one, we make it very easy. We have a very simple graphical interface that we present to the time card approvers. Often it's the schedulers or project managers. It could be anybody, to just review that time card and approve it. The HR team has visibility into how all time cards are progressing through the system. So if a reviewer is falling behind, they could ping them 3 days before payroll and say, you've got 20 time cards you need to review and approve. Let's get that done. Once that's done, we run an audit to make sure there's no missing data in the time cards. We're calculating overtime, we're calculating double overtime. We are removing lunch per the HR policies of the company. We're a highly configurable system. Different companies in different states have all sorts of different
rules. Yeah.
Rules. Some will pay drive time, some won't pay drive time. Some will pay mileage Some will pay drive time after the first 20 miles. Some,
Right.
we get all sorts of curveballs thrown at us, and because our system is so configurable, we specialize in getting the HR rules configured properly so we can automate 100% of their time cards based on whatever HR policies they have. So when we go to run payroll, we do an audit. We make sure that there's integrity, no missing data on all the time cards.
So this integrates with whatever payroll company they're using, right?
Any payroll company. We work with them all.
Okay.
Correct.
Now, what if, is everyone uses for a subcontractor? Like, I'm not sure my drywall guys are, even I hired a drywall contractor. So can I say, hey, my drywall contractor, I'm going to give this to you just to know where your guys are? Does that ever happen?
Yes. There's really a couple of stages to that. If for example, if we're just scheduling the project and the work orders in Fieldclix, and there's task checklists or photo checklists, directions to the work site, contact info, site access protocols, any information that a subcontractor would want to have, construction documents as well can be made available through the mobile app. We can give them all of that information in a dispatch work order. And so they know where they have to be, when they need to be there, how to get there, and what they need to do when they get there. So with subcontractors really like that enhanced collaboration that they're getting. We can also track certifications, permits for subcontractors as well to make sure that they haven't expired. So there's a lot of layers around helping to manage and collaborate with subcontractors that we have. If the subcontractor wants to do GPS tracking, we can light that up as well.
So my thought is sometimes subcontractors have lied, occasionally, right?
So
I say subcontractors have lied occasionally, sometimes. And they go, oh, my drywallers were there for 6 hours and they never were there at all, right?
Yep. You'll have to negotiate with your subcontractor to let them know that, I want your crew lead to put the Fieldclix mobile app and use that to track their movements. That'll have to be agreement between,
Well, I can also say, if you want to be my subcontractor drywaller guy,
exactly.
I require this of you, or I'll choose somebody else that will.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Because lots of times, with all these subcontractors, they're supposed to be there and they're not, and you have no way of knowing if they're or not.
Give them a phone. Give them your own company phone. You can get a company phone for $25 a month. Put the Fieldclix app on the phone. Give it to them and say, get your crew lead to clock in to start the day, clock out the end of the day. And that's the only stipulation. It doesn't have to be the whole team, right? It just has to be that one person to validate that the team's on site. Absolutely. You're absolutely right.
Because to me, that happens a lot, and it's a good way of tracking your subcontractors and making sure they're there when they said they were going to be there.
Yeah. And even, the other advantage to my clients is sometimes their client will say, you weren't at the job site. I didn't see you there. And they actually have the GPS information to go back and say, these 3 people were on site, between, 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. Here's the record. And so that helps win some battles as well when you are invoicing, whether it's fixed price or T&M. If you are doing T&M invoicing, we know precisely how many hours now you should be invoicing for.
So I guess the question is, what does this cost? It sounds awesome.
I'm going to say we're probably a little bit pricier than other timekeeping platforms. Entry-level pricing is probably $900 a month, depending on the size of the company.
Per person or per company or what?
Per company.
And how many employees can you put under that one $900 a month?
It'll, we start at maybe we're very flexible in how we work with our clients. We actually don't charge for the mobile app. We just charge for people in the office that are scheduling, dispatching, and reviewing and approving time cards. We have a minimum number of seats that we would want to charge for. But what we like is the predictability that comes from knowing what you're going to have to pay as you grow. But also, most other companies that are doing timekeeping are charging you for the app, and you sometimes can't keep track. this is a highly fluid environment. You know, employees are coming and going, and you don't always know, you don't always remember how many people have that mobile app, and yet you're paying for it. We don't charge for the mobile app. If you want to give it to a subcontractor, we don't charge for it. So we think we have a pricing framework that, you know, is just a little bit, brings a little bit more predictability and accuracy into what our clients are paying.
Well, I'm sure the ROI is off the charts, right? You must have calculated that a couple of times, right?
We have an ROI calculator on our website. I like to say I'll give you 10 to 15% of your labor costs back.
Right. It's a huge number. And not only that, unfortunately, that's usually 10 to 15% of your net profit because it all drops to the bottom line, right? That's the only variable you can really control.
And look, this is anecdotally, this is what my clients are telling me, right? This is what they're telling me that they're achieving when they bring Fieldclix. Again, really, it's simple. It's by virtue of the fact that they're identifying non-productive labor hours and working with their field crews to find ways to minimize. Can we hit the road in 15, 20 minutes? Did you have to stop at the Home Depot? Did you forget to grab something?
What gets measured gets done, Rob. That's the truth, right? And time expands or contracts, or work expands or contracts till the time allotted. Fundamental time management, right? So we all know if we get up in the morning and we take a shower and eat and all that kind of stuff, and it takes us an hour. If for some reason we get up a half hour later, we get all done in half an hour. It just works that way, right?
And the thing that's critical is these projects are, 3, 5 days, 10 days. You can't go over by one day because you're not going to make your target profit margin.
I've been a coach forever, and most of the people all lose money on self-performed labor. That's the number one hole in the bucket for sure. Yeah. So, Rob, how do people get in touch with you to try this out? And how do they try it? They can practice them on. How does it work?
Email me, rob@fieldclix.com. Maybe you could put that up for them. And we're going to do a quick demo to show you how the tool works. And then we can do a free field test. We can give you the mobile app, give it to a couple of your crews, look at your own time cards, no cost to you, get feedback from them to see what they feel, and look at your own time cards in a trial instance, and then make a decision as to whether we're a good fit for your business.
Makes total sense. Well, if you're not using this or something like this, you're just plain losing money, in my opinion. It's the leak in the bucket that you can fix. So thanks, Rob. I really appreciate you being here. It sounds like an awesome solution.
Thank you, Paul. Appreciate your time.